So I'm going to be doing something I've been saying I do for months and months, right? I'm doing a review of a workout sledgehammer prototype that my friend Geoff MacGillivary, I'm never going to say his name right, but MacGillivary made for me to try and kind of test and see if I can break. And the great news is this prototype has been awesome. It's held up. I'm going to go through kind of the features of it, some refinements that are going on with the next version, and kind of what the benefits are of a workout sledgehammer like this over a traditional sledge that you can just buy at like a Lowe's or Home Depot or any home improvement store, right? So here it is, basically, right? It's a regular looking sledgehammer. It's got a squared head. You can use it for all types of drills, like you can use it for what we call Conans. You're going to take it and rotate these around your head like this, things like that. You can use it obviously for actually hitting the tire, doing sledge work, lots of other things. You can run with them if you feel like it, right? You can actually, I think I can do is like one-armed squats like this where I'm transitioning hands. It's great for wrist strength, arm strength, balance and control. So after I do this review, I'm going to actually do my workout with this because I love sledgehammer workouts. So let's talk about the difference between this and a regular sledgehammer. Weight-wise, this is about, I think I weighted is about 16 pounds, 16-pound sledge when it is kind of empty. I'll talk about that in a second, right? So it actually feels lighter in some ways than a traditional sledge because the weight is also all down the pipe. It's not all just in the head in a lighter kind of fiberglass or wooden handle. So you actually feel like it can feel a little bit lighter when you're rotating it because you have less of the weight at that head when you're rotating, right? So why would you want this then? It's because of what you can do with these as far as adding weight. So if you look here in the back, Geoff has put 4 thumb screws. So I can actually unscrew these, take this plate off the back, and I can fill it with material. So when I fill with material, you're going to put in it, stone, sand, gravel, something to add weight. You can get this up above, easily above 30 pounds when you put the weight in the head. And then the nice thing with this one, which I haven't seen before, is you can actually unscrew, again, this is a prototype, so it's not the cleanest we have. Unscrew the top here, take that lid, slide it aside, you can fill inside the tube as well for added weight, which I've done, right? So it's a heavier sledge. One thing that we are changing, or Geoff's changing, I keep saying we like I'm part of it. Geoff just loaned this to me to try, right? So I've been just doing the demos with it, is that he actually had designed it with the thumb screw plates on both sides originally. I took out the thumb screws and put in flatter bolts, basically to give myself a striking edge. I didn't like hitting on these thumb screws. It bounces weird off tires and it doesn't feel as good. So he actually just sent me a video yesterday of one he's working on now that's going to have, so we'll just have a flat welded plate here. You're going to have no need for these bolts. The other side's removable and he's got a hinged piece so you can't lose the back. Hinge, close it, two bolts, tighten it up. It's super tight. We tested it. He looked at it. Doesn't see any areas of leak. The one flaw I have with mine is because these bolts weren't designed for it. They're not as, if you can see here, they're not as, these have these nice little seal around on the thumb screws. I don't have that in here. So if you put real loose sand, it can come out, right? So you get a little sand on your head and stuff. But again, prototype, right? So I love this for a couple reasons. One, you can change your weight. You can add more weight as you get stronger, as you get more comfortable, and as you're doing different things. Better for me is adding, I don't fill it all the way. Like I said, you can get it heavier, but I fill it about to here in the handle, and I fill about, I don't know, I'd say about halfway in the head, right? And the reason for that is I want, when I'm doing rotations, for the weight, for the material to move. Because with a regular sledgehammer, if you go fast, you get that centrifugal force. As you swing it around, the centrifugal force helps it rotate back up using less muscles. When you have the shifting material, what happens is when it gets to about here, all that weight is slid down there, it's moved. It's slid down to the bottom of the head, and I'm picking up a lot more and using a lot of my own force versus, kind of scientific force to rotate it around, right? So it's just my muscles, so I actually get a better workout with a little bit less weight, but more movement of the material inside of it. All in all, I absolutely love this thing, right? It has been so much fun to use. It's probably one of my favorite regular workouts doing sledgehammer work. So, I get to hit stuff hard. I get to use a cool thing. It emulates, grips. You get grip strength work. You get movement work. It's again much heavier than an axe, but it emulates a lot of the movements that I'll be doing. It strengthens the muscles that I'll be using for axe fighting. So really, just fantastic. I want to thank you, Geoff, for giving me the prototype to use and test. I can't wait to see the next version. I know you're working on it. If you have questions, you want to find out more, maybe you want to get in contact with Geoff if he starts selling these and producing them, feel free to reach out to me. Follow my page, like, subscribe, send me a message. You can find me on Facebook under Woodchuck Knight as well. And I can help talk to you about kind of how you can use the sledge, advantages of it, and why this thing is so awesome. It's the Highland Hammer is what he named it, which I think is an awesome name. With that said, if you don't have something like this, just buy a regular sledgehammer and start, right? Like I use that as well. But this has been a huge upgrade and really something that I've added to my arsenal and very, very glad to have. So thanks, Geoff.